By the time B-boy started moving into the more mainstream, like with Rocksteady and all that, that's in the 80s, we were done. We were dancing B-boying in 1975. We were a good 5 years ahead of all of them. And we had already outgrown it because, by the time you're 19, 18, 19, 20 years old, you're not going to be spinning on your head and girls wasn't. I mean, had it been a different time, maybe, you know what I mean? We might have continued on with it because if you continued on, there's money involved. It became an art form, an accepted art form, you know what I mean? But at that time, it was an underground kind of thing. It was something that young cats did. And the young cats who did it, we were considered renegades. People didn't want us in their parties. They called us all kind of names. Floor sweepers. That's the term hip hop. People have their own apocryphal stories about where the term came from. And that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. But I can definitely tell you that its original incarnation was one of derision because they called the B-boys hip hoppers and floor sweepers and boyoyoings and yo-yos and all these different kind of names they had for us that were derogatory names. They weren't, endearing names because, people who didn't like that, they felt that we were coming to their house parties and crashing. And the only places we were welcome were like at Herc parties because that was our venue. Bambada parties, flash parties. Those were very specific parties for B-boys. You know what I mean? So the mainstream DJs, Pete DJ Jones, all these other people who are claiming their claims to being pioneers in hip hop, they weren't playing the music. They didn't like us. They did not want us in their parties. And the people who frequented their parties, their constituency, did not like us. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. We were a very specific, a renegade culture that wound up being the mainstream.